Hey, swim parents. So the problem, if your child trains really well and then does not compete at the same level because they get nervous or anxious or whatever in the competition, then do not believe what the coaches say because the swim coaches will say, oh, he or she didn't try hard enough. They made technical mistakes and all that. But if that was the case, that would also be happening in practice. So clearly there's something else going on. And I tell you, I know a lot of swim coaches, especially here in Switzerland and stuff, and a lot of them are just, they might be good at like giving sets and stuff like that, but they don't know what's going on between the mind. And it just so happens that when we go to competition, the mindset, what's going on between the ears is actually the most important part. And they just don't have the expert knowledge about that. And then they're confused and why it doesn't work out. And they'll make up stories and kind of defend themselves because obviously like they're responsible for how well their swimmer does. And if it doesn't work out, they don't know what to say. And they'll just kind of like start blaming the swimmer because they don't understand what is actually going on. So in this video, as part of a little series that we do, last time we did nutrition tips that were hugely popular, that you need to eat carbs rather than protein after swim workout, for example. And today I'm going to give you another hack that you can implement with your child right away and kind of take it in your own hands because, again, a lot of swim coaches actually fail their children. Is it their fault? Well, yes and no. You could say they just don't know how this works, how the brain works, but also you could say it is their responsibility to like level up and find and speak to people like me to figure out what is going on so they can better support their children. But unfortunately, what I'm finding is, especially here in Switzerland, the coaches have a huge ego and they think they know everything. And unfortunately, it's detrimental to the development of their swimmers, which for me doesn't make any sense because if you're a coach, you should the highest good, the child, the swimmers being successful and getting rewarded for all the hard work that they put in should be your highest priority, not your own ego. Okay, but that's just my personal opinion. So, what you need to understand is we got something that's called the conscious mind, which is called the thinking mind, and then we have something that's called the subconscious mind. Okay, and the most important thing to understand here is that I'm going to give you the processing speed, the calculating power of the conscious mind. And then I want you to guess what the computation power or the processing speed of the subconscious mind is, and then it will make a lot of sense. So the conscious mind is the thinking mind. It's what you use to pay attention to me right now. It is what I use to pay attention to doing this video right now. It's talking, it's if you study or read, right? It's those kind of functions that are in the conscious mind. And the conscious mind works at 2,000 bits per second. Okay, if you don't know what one bit is, it's a one or a zero. It's computer language. So it's 2,000 per second. And the subconscious mind is also called the emotional mind. Okay, so the emotions are sitting in the subconscious mind and they're just programs. Okay, but they're actually exclusively there's just programs. Here we have free thought, we can think what we want, we can imagine what we want. Here they're just programs, and other functions of the subconscious mind are like running your organs, body functions, everything that's automatic is in here, habits. And one thing to like consider, okay, is that we have about 50 trillion cells in our bodies. Now, do you have to think about your hair growing, your cells recovering, getting rid of the lactic acid and like refueling? None of that. It all happens for you, right? Muscle growth, all that. It all happens for you. And so these are all functions of the subconscious mind that we're not aware that they're actually happening or not like in real time that they're happening. Make sense? We're not really controlling that. And so I want you to guess if the conscious mind works at 2,000 bits of data per second, how fast do you think the subconscious mind is? And I want you to don't say like, oh, I don't know. Get a number and say it in your head, like what the number is. Pick a number. Okay. It is not 400,000. It is not 400 million. It is 400 billion bits per second. It's astronomical, especially if you compare it to the 2000 of the conscious mind. So what that means for us, and now you can understand why when you tell your child, for example, just have fun, believe in yourself. right? That idea makes sense, and we know that's the right kind of idea, and we want it consciously. But if the subconscious mind is programmed in a different way, right? It's like, oh, let me go and have fun in the competition, but inside, man, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I feel very anxious. What if this doesn't work out? Right? What if I don't get the cut? What if the guy in lane 3 goes out faster than me? Okay. So then you have 2,000 bits that want to go this way, and you got 400 billion bits who want to go the other way. And so who's going to win every single time? It's no question. You're here, there's an ant pulling that way, and there's a herd of elephants and blue whales pulling that way, right? So we're always going to go where the subconscious mind wants to go. And so the idea, what we need to do is we need to, and it is not a technical thing. It is not a you don't want it bad enough thing like the swim coaches say. What we have to do is we have to say where it is that we want to go with our conscious mind, and then we have to reprogram the subconscious mind, the depths of the subconscious mind. Okay, it's a little bit of a black box because not a lot of people understand it. That's why I have a job, right? It's like we want to reprogram and align these 400 billion bits so they support the conscious mind who wants to go there. Okay, because right now what's happening is for your child, it's like he or she wants to go here, and then the subconscious mind is programmed differently and it's going to go in a different direction, is going to win every single time. So in a way, the subconscious mind right now is their worst enemy. They self-sabotage. And so what we have to do, we have to realign these 400 billion bits so they become our best friends. And then there's going to be no limit of how fast they can swim. Okay. That stuff works for in practice, but most importantly for most of you, right? Because your child is already training really well in training, already putting in a lot of effort and stuff. It's going to be about making that happen in competition when it really matters. Okay. And then imagine if you have those 400 billion bits supporting the 2000, oh my God, the sky is the limit. And so how we actually do that, okay, there's one tool that is the bread and butter of any good athlete who is involved in mental training. And I would go as far as like pretty much, I mean, all the athletes that I know that are like absolutely world class, not just in swimming, in all sports, they do some kind of mental training and they will speak about visualization. Now, why visualization? Okay. Because there's a couple of things that we have to know. The subconscious mind cannot reject an idea. Okay, with the conscious mind, if I call you an idiot, you can just say, oh no, I'm rejecting that idea, right? And you should. You don't have to let that in. But the subconscious mind is differently. The subconscious mind isn't the thinking mind. It doesn't have, even though it's hugely powerful, it doesn't really have a intelligence in itself. Well, it does, but a different kind, right? It cannot reject an idea. That's why children, for example, they don't have a conscious mind yet. They don't have the brain waves. They can measure that these days of a conscious mind yet. That's why they imitate what's going on around them with the parents, the adults, right? And they learn the language that they're exposed to. They cannot say, oh, no, I'm not doing Japanese, right? Like, I'm doing Italian. It doesn't work like that. It cannot say no. It's literally like the best analogy that I have is imagine the subconscious mind as the most fertile soil on the planet. The fertile soil will not differentiate between, like whatever seed you drop in, it will say yes and it will grow it and it will grow it really fast. So it will not say, oh, I can do carrots and potatoes, but I'm not doing basil and ginger, right? It will not say that. It will just, whatever you put in there, it will say yes to that. And so what we have to do, we have to plant good seeds in the subconscious mind and it will start to grow that. Okay. You cannot reject it. So we can think of whatever we want and we can start to impress that up on the subconscious and start reprogramming it. Okay. We can do that because this subconscious mind cannot say no. And the other quality that the subconscious mind has, and I think you'll know that when you think about it, is the subconscious mind only learns through repetition. Okay. It only learns through being exposed to something over and over and over and over again. Now, there's old programs in there, and all we have to do is we have to impress a new program upon it with repetition over and over and over again, and the old program is going to go away, and there's going to be a new program. And so instead of it wanting to go that way, now it can go this way where your child consciously already wants to go, and that will change everything. And how we do that is through visualization, because the subconscious mind is also working visually. Okay. So what we do is we use visualization and we do it every day. And we just impress that image and the video of what it is that we want up on the subconscious over and over and over again. Because also the subconscious cannot differentiate between what's real and what you vividly imagine. And that's why when you're like laying in bed the night before a competition, you're thinking about the race, right? The heart rate starts to go up, the breathing gets shallow. That's because, well, there's nothing real about it. It's just imagined, but the subconscious doesn't know that. And so if we get good at visualizing, right, we can change any program that's in here and we can replace it with what we want. And as soon as they're aligned after a couple of weeks, okay, the sky is the limit and your child is going to be absolutely flying in competition. And then we move on to the next thing, right? And we start training better and so on. So there's a whole, they're going to be more motivated. They're going to be smiling, you know? So it's like, all a bunch of good things happening. So this is one of the most important things, and I hope you understand that is the black box is the subconscious that the swim coaches don't understand. They don't have the knowledge to give to your children, and that's why they're confused. And it is probably one of the most, if not the most important thing that your child needs to learn if they want to be rewarded for the hard work and the sacrifice, you know, that they already put in. Because, man, competitive swimming is a tough sport. You know, to pick the hard sport. Not gonna lie, okay? But this is a solution that's gonna make them absolutely super, super happy, believe me. And right now, we got something, you know, we're ending the 2025 summer season. We still have a few spots. I think we got like five or so for our free trial. So like what we noticed is that all the swimmers and the parents, and whether they're Olympians or like a 10-year-old child, have no clue how powerful and how effective and how fast the right kind of mental training is for swimming. And so we decided we're just going to do like a free 14-day trial, and you can come in. You even get like one-on-one sessions with me too. You get like other kinds of support. You get checklists for parents on how to support your child and everything. And then in 2 weeks, you're already going to get results. If you have a competition, you'll see it in competition. If you just training right now, you'll have faster times in training. And then after these 2 weeks, you can make a decision if you want to join us for the full program. But all we need is we need 2 weeks with you to work with you. And we show you how powerful this is. And then you can make an informed decision whether you want to do the full program and go all the way, right? And if not, if it's not what I promised it is, or if you don't like it for any reason, never happened so far, no pressure. But, you know, then you just let us know and we part as swim friends. Okay, that's it for now. If you got any questions, drop it in the comments and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.